You've probably heard it a million times. We live in the most connected age in history. But what if that's not the whole story? Today, we're diving into two novels that give us two wildly different answers. One where connection is this deep song passed down through generations, and another where it's all just static on the line. Let's get into it.
Think about it. We're surrounded by pings, DMs, updates, feeds. It's constant. But it really makes you wonder, right? Are all these networks actually bringing us closer together? Or are we just becoming little nodes in a giant system, kind of lost in all the digital noise?
Well, to explore that question, we're looking at two profound novels. In one corner, you've got the Undersong of Salt, which imagines this incredible world built on ancestral song and the power of not being fully known. And in the other corner, there's Static Burial, which presents a reality where genuine connection is basically a fantasy, and being alone is the one true thing.
So first up, let's dive into the world of the Undersong of Salt. And right away, this book flips the whole idea of an individual right on its head. Here, a person isn't just one single thing. They're more like a frequency, a single note in this massive song that stretches all the way back through their ancestors.
The absolute core of this world is this concept of personar. It literally means to sound through. So think about it this way. A person isn't a box that holds a self. No, a person is more like an instrument, a channel that family, history, and the entire community can, well, sound through.
The main character, Célimène, gets this powerful piece of wisdom from her grandmother. She says, "You don't need to know your name to exist. Your being, that comes first. It's there long before the world tries to stick a label on you."
And that idea leads to something else that's really fascinating: opacity. In our world where we're always being pushed to share everything, to be totally transparent, to basically become data points, opacity is the right to remain a little bit of a mystery. It's a way of pushing back, of refusing to be totally figured out and consumed. So this is basically the curriculum Célimène uncovers, that a person is a network, that real knowledge is something you feel in your body, not just facts you store in your brain, that the past and the future are right here, right now, and that the most profound connections, what they call the undersong, are passed through a kind of vibration from one person to the next. And it all comes together in this quote. This is her big moment of transformation. Célimène decides she's not just going to understand this philosophy, she is going to become it. She's going to be the instrument for that deep connective song. It's beautiful. Okay, now I want you to take a deep breath because we're about to shift frequencies. Completely. We're leaving that world of resonant song and we're dropping right into a reality that is defined by its exact opposite: noise, interference, and just a mess of crossed signals. This is the core belief of static burial, and honestly, it's pretty bleak. In this world, any idea of a clear, meaningful connection is a total illusion. The fundamental truth of reality isn't some beautiful song, it's just chaotic, undecipherable noise. Our guide through this world is Kell, and he doesn't see societies or communities. He just sees the system. For him, everything, from the foster care system he grew up in to his job at a data center, it's all just one giant, impersonal machine designed to process human lives. And here's the kicker. Kell's isolation is so complete, so total, that he can't even hate it. Because hating something means you can imagine something better, an alternative. And for Kell, there is no alternative. The system is just all there is. The novel has this really smart take on noise. See, noise isn't the absence of a signal. It's just a signal that you can't decode, maybe because you don't have the right tools. So what we call meaning and what we call noise, well, that's really just a question of power and what you're able to hear. And all of this gets wrapped up in this one absolutely haunting recurring dream he has. He dreams the servers at his job are made of living flesh. He finds one that's broken, and it has his mother's eyes. She opens them. She's about to say something, to give him some message, and he always wakes up right before she can speak. That's his world in a nutshell. Connection is corrupted data, a message that can never, ever be delivered. All right, so we've got these two completely opposed ideas about what it means to even exist. Let's put them right next to each other, head to head, and really see just how different they are. Just look at this breakdown. It's night and day. For Célimène, the self is a relationship, knowledge is something shared and felt, and reality is a collective song. But for Kell, the self is just an algorithm. Knowledge is corruptible data. Connection is a performance, a lie we tell ourselves, and reality is nothing but noise. And this is really the heart of it, isn't it? On one hand, you have Célimène, who makes an active, powerful choice to embody connection. On the other, you have Kell, who is told in his own dream the devastating truth of his world. The only signal you can ever truly hear is yourself. Everything else, it's just static.
So, what are we supposed to do with all this? What's the takeaway from this clash of worlds for us, right here, right now? Well, it seems to me it all comes down to a question of listening and what exactly we choose to tune into.
And here's where it gets really cool. Static burial actually mentions a real thing called the Schumann resonance. It's a measurable electromagnetic frequency of the Earth itself, and it hums along at about 7.83 hertz. It's this actual scientific carrier wave that's a fascinating bridge between the poetic undersong and the cold, hard static.
So you've got these two ideas, right? In one world, the signal is an ancient embodied song. In the other, it's a hidden radio frequency you have to strain to hear through the noise. But in our world, maybe the signal isn't something we just find. Maybe it's something we create by choosing what to listen to. Maybe tuning in is an active choice we have to make every single day.
And that's really the question I want to leave you with. In all the noise of our modern lives, with all the static buzzing around us all the time, what is the undersong that you are listening for? What deep, resonant connection are you trying to tune into?